Am I supposed to act really mad this time?
The first selection that you just heard this evening was a famous concert band piece by Václav Melibel called Festivo. Melibel was a Czech composer who was already very successful in the orchestral world when he heard his very first concert band play in 1962. He said it was so good, he just caught fire and was fascinated with the possibilities of what you could do with half an acre of clarinets, half an acre of flutes, and half an acre of percussion. He went on to write almost 40 pieces for concert band. The band's next piece is a famous hymn, the lyrics of which were written by Horatio Spafford. Horatio was a lawyer and real estate investor who lost a fortune in the Great Chicago Fire of 1871. Around that same time, his only son died of scarlet fever at age 4. Thinking that his family could do with a respite, he sent his wife and all 4 of his daughters on a ship to England, planning to join them after he attended to some pressing business at home. However, tragedy struck again when, while crossing the Atlantic, the ship was involved in a terrible collision and sunk, killing over 200 people, including all 4 of Horatio's daughters. His wife, Anna, upon arriving in England, telegraphed her husband, "Saved alone, what shall I do?" Horatio immediately set sail for England, and at the point in the ocean where the tragedy had taken place, the captain, aware of the tragedy, summoned Horatio to show him the spot where the shipwreck occurred. As he thought about his daughters, the words to "It is well with my soul" came to his mind, and he wrote them down. They have since become the well-loved hymn, "When peace like a river attendeth my way, when sorrows like sea billows roll. Whatever my lot, thou hast taught me to say, it is well with my soul."
Can you busy miss me? I love
My Fair Lady is the 1964 musical romance set in 1900s London. A snobbish phonetics professor, Henry Higgins, played by Harrison, makes a bet that he can turn a crude, Cockney-accented working-class girl, Eliza Doolittle, played by Hepburn, into a cult member of high society. This medley includes excerpts from familiar tunes you'll recognize, including Get Me to the Church on Time, I Could Have Danced All Night, I've Grown Accustomed to Her Face, On the Street Where You Live, With a Little Bit of Luck, and Wouldn't It Be Lovely? Arranged by John Moss, here is My Fair Lady.
I'm a cow.
Danny Boy, also known as Londonderry Air, is probably one of the most famous songs in the world. Though it is synonymous with Ireland, the words were written by an Englishman, who later modified them and set them to the tune of Londonderry Air. It has been recorded by everyone from Willie Nelson to Andre Bocelli. This evening, we are honored to have join us as soloist on euphonium, Dr. Lloyd Bone, low brass professor at Glenville State University. Dr. Bone is a celebrated guest artist, conductor, and clinician who has performed numerous times at the international level and also at Carnegie Hall and in Italy and Austria, just to name a couple of foreign countries. He studied at the University of Cincinnati Conservatory of Music and has been right here in West Virginia at Glenville State University since 2004. And on top of all that, he's a really nice guy. Would you all please welcome Dr. Lloyd Bone.
sit, stand there.
Our next piece, Cobb County Festival, named for Cobb County, Georgia, is one of the pieces that the Big Red Band performed at the Ratings Festival this spring. Written by John O'Reilly, who is one of the most performed composers of band music in the world today. Cobb County Festival.
Even know what that was.
Before we play our last concert piece, we want to let you know that there'll be a short intermission before we welcome our percussion ensemble, and then a very short intermission before our jazz band plays. At this time each year, we like to recognize some of our band members. We're going to start a little differently this year. We want you to see how much of this fine group before you spend. Would all the ninth graders please stand and be recognized? Would you guys remain standing, and can we ask the sophomores to stand, please?
Who is that? Right? She looks familiar.
Which one?
Blue hair.
Oh, that's Karma.
Friend years or?
Mm-hmm.
I thought that's who you were pointing at.
Oh, I was pointing at Larry.
Oh, Larry.
Yeah, my dog. He's going backstage. He's part of the percussion.
But we got to have the juniors stand and be recognized, please.
Big Red Band participates in several honor bands every year. This year we participated at Marshall University, West Virginia University, and Global State University. Those members who attended any of those honor bands, please stand, be recognized. We also had several perform at our local solo and ensemble festival. Would you stand and be recognized?
Thank you.